All right, good morning and welcome everybody. I'm excited to be here and to share some thoughts that were actually inspired by the VTC conference theme. And I'd like to take the next couple of minutes to share an analogy that presented itself while I was thinking about innovation and cycles. And it may not be what you're thinking. It's actually not something like the design cycle. That would be cool, but it's not. And if you're thinking, well, then if it's simpler than that, it might be the problem-solving cycle. It's not that either. So I fear that you're trying to overthink this. It's not the design cycle, and it's not the problem-solving cycle. And for those of you who are trying to guess ahead, it's not the water cycle, it's not life cycles, and heaven forbid, it's also not the curriculum review cycle. What I want to share with you is something that's a little bit simpler than that. It's actually cycling. So here's what happened and how it relates to innovation in our schools. I was watching some cycling. It was a team event, and as the teams ripped around the track, something strange happened every couple of laps. The teams cycled in perfect formation, and then, well, let's just see if you can spot it. There it is. Did you catch it? All right, it did go fast, but I've slowed it down for those of you who had a big night last night. So here's what happened, and it happened more than once. One of the riders flew off the front of the pack and then came back behind the rest of his team. I thought, this has to be a strategy. It has to be planned, so I did some research. And here's what I found. Folks, it's called a pace line. It's a strategy that's used to assist teams to work together to maintain a higher speed than can be achieved by the individuals. I found out that all teams use this on the track, and they also use it in road racing. It's a simple strategy that relies on the team working together to rotate the lead. It's very effective, and some of you might be thinking, why, David? Why is this such a great strategy? Why is this so effective? And I'm glad you asked. It turns out that as the riders pedal along, they actually disrupt the air. And the air creates a slipstream behind them, and that force can pull along the following riders and actually reduce their effort. Now, cycling teams know this, and they've done their research, and they've determined that the effort of the leader can help cut the work by the other riders by up to half. And the whole team moves much, much faster. But it only works if the team stays close together. If team members fall apart, then the slipstreaming benefit is lost. They've calculated that by being strategic and rotating the lead, there's a huge benefit to the team that overcomes the fact that the team is actually made up of stronger and weaker athletes. In team cycling events like this, the important thing is that they all take turns at being at the front of the pack. Well, it's interesting, right? Yeah. Okay, but what does that have to do with me? There are some lessons to be learnt from the cyclists that can help us move forward more quickly and more effectively in our schools and in our personal and professional development. You see, all of us are on teams. We're on teaching teams, we're on curriculum teams, we're on leadership teams. So let's start with a personal inventory. Right now, acknowledge the teams that you're on. Get involved, be engaged, be on the team. Initiatives like whole school development don't evolve from one or two innovators who do everything. It comes from everybody doing a little bit to create sustainable change. It takes teams. And teams have a leader. Find the leader. Follow the leader. Leaders set the pace. Leaders make it easier for those who follow. Take advantage of those team members that you are working with. But remember to be an active team member. Maintain a connection with those people who are moving forward. Do what they do. Take the lead from their example, but also be an example for those for those who are following you. Teams are made up of individuals. All of these individuals have unique abilities, different levels of abilities. It's this variety of skills and knowledge and interest that makes teams better, more effective, more efficient, more motivated, more knowledgeable, more connected, more flexible. Innovative practices aren't just about working harder, longer, and faster. It's about thinking, how do we do this differently? How can we work together to make this better? Most importantly, take your turn at the front. We're here at a tech conference, and we know that ICT integration and technology education is an evolving field. There are no silver bullets. There's no single guru who knows everything. So share what you know. Do your part. Take the lead. And it doesn't matter if it's the simplest task, like sharing an email with resources, or running a lunchtime workshop about one tiny little part of a program. Every little thing you do is magic. So what are you waiting for? Get on your bike and start pedaling. Remember that you're not alone. We're all here as one large team. So get going and take the lead. Thank you.